Hello folks, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be having a look at a couple of walkie-talkies which are license-free radios on the PMR446 band in the UK. Just a quick explanation about that. If you're in the UK and you wish to transmit on a license-free radio, then it must comply with the regulations pertaining to PMR446 in the UK. And those regulations stipulate that the radio must be no more than half a watt power output, and it must have a fixed non-removable antenna. So there is an equivalent to that in the United States, which is known as FRS, Family Radio Service in the USA. They also have a license-free radio. The difference with them being is that they have 22 channels to choose from on their radio, whereas the UK ours only has 16 channels. There are some variations in the power output on the FRS radios. I do believe that in some instances they're allowed to transmit more than half a watt power, which is our limitation in the UK. But anyway, on to the radios themselves. I bought these on AliExpress. I didn't buy them from Tidradio themselves, who have an official site for selling radios on. The reason I bought them on AliExpress, quite simply, I could buy them cheaper on AliExpress than what I could on Tidradio's website. So that was interesting. It just makes you wonder, how could I purchase this cheaper on a Chinese website like AliExpress than on the official website? So it does make you curious. I mean, are these the genuine article, or are they manufactured by someone else with and have a Tidradio sticker attached to them? Because out in China, anything seems to go as far as copyright issues. And it could be that the ones that I have are maybe not official Tidradio products. I really don't know. But enough about that for the time being. Let's just have a look at the little radios themselves. They were advertised as PMR446 half a watt radios when I bought them. And what attracted me to them was that they also list the radio as having Bluetooth programming on them, which is quite unusual for little walkie-talkies. Don't usually come with that. Excuse me. So I thought, I'd buy a couple of them. I think they were about £20 delivered to the UK, which I don't know, it's about $25, I suppose, something like that. So they were quite cheap little radios, and as I say, they were sold as PMR446 compatible for the UK in the advertisement. But onto the radios themselves. If we take a look at them, they're nicely built little radio. Very plastic, of course. The advertisement said that they were waterproof, but I would take that with a pinch of salt, because I don't think any of these little cheap Chinese radios are completely waterproof. If you submerge them in water, I think you would end up with a dead radio pretty soon. But that aside, I'm sure they can resist a good shower of rain anyway. Their construction seems quite nice. And in fact, in many ways, the little Tidradio, this particular model, is known as the Tidradio M11. That's M for Mike, M11, and it's supposed to be PMR446. But onto that a bit more later on. Looking round the wee radio, as we can see, it comes with a belt clip. The belt clip isn't actually attached to the radio as such. It is a sort of little holder more than anything else, which clips off and it holds the radio in this little holder here, which is very quickly and simply removed from the radio. You just put the radio down into the little holder and then clip it on up at the top and you're good to go. So nice little design that. I mean, you can remove the radio very quickly from the belt clip. In some ways it's very similar looking to the Bofang T20 radio, which I did a review on earlier on. If you want to look that one up on my channel. This is the Bofang T20. Very similar looking radio. The only difference being, the major difference being that the little Tidradio has a rather nice green LED display.
Turn on the radio. 4.
As we can see, whereas the Bofang has no LED display.
Power on. 2.
So it also, the Bofang has no Bluetooth programming in it. So the little Tidradio TD-M11 wins hands down as far as specification goes. Not only does it have the little green LED display, but it also has Bluetooth programming. So much better spec radio than the Bofang. But say the Bofang again uses this similar sort of little cradle for attaching the radio, the belt clip. It's very similar. So similar type of design for the belt clip, similar sort of dimensions, but other than that they are quite different little radios. And as I say, the Tidradio wins out as far as I'm concerned, because it has the nice green LED display and Bluetooth programming. So if we take the wee radio out of the belt clip, we can see, as mentioned, it has this rather nice
Turn on the radio.
green LED display, which when you have your radio turned on, it will show the channel, it will show the power output, whether it's on low or high, and also
Turn on the radio. 4.
it will also show the channel number and the battery power, how much power is in the battery. So all the information you really need there, the channel, the power output, the battery, status indication, is all there on the screen. Doesn't stay on for very long. I did try to change the timeout settings on that, but didn't manage to succeed unless it's hidden away in the software somewhere. And just on the subject of software, that is an area that I actually had some difficulties with. Was in programming these radios. I did download the software from Tidradio's official site, but we'll get into that a bit more after we've finished having a look at the little radio. So as we see, nice little radio, nice LED, green LED display. On the top we just simply have an on-off button. And of course the fixed antenna on the top, so in order to comply with the regulations on PMR446, so you're not allowed a removable antenna. So the antenna is fixed, it's non-removable. Around the side we can see on this side we have our push to talk button on the top, and immediately below that we have our up down keys for changing the channel. We turn her on.
Turn on the radio. 4.
You can see we're currently in channel 4, but we can use our down key
3. 2.
to go up and down the channels, and our up key to go up the channels.
4.
So very simple operation, just up and down the channels with those two keys on the side. But the keys on the side also have another function, in that the side keys are programmable. So you can set them to carry out other functions other than just going up and down the channels. In my particular case, I have the top key set to turn on the Bluetooth on the radio, and the bottom key is set to scan, to do a scan of your program channels. And we can demonstrate that now. If we hold down the top up and down key, long press it, we can see the red light comes on and the Bluetooth icon appears on the screen, which indicates that the radio is now in Bluetooth programming mode. So it's ready to connect to a Bluetooth program in order to program it. And the program that I use to program this little radio is called OD Master, which is a free programming app for I use it on an Android phone. I'm not sure if it's available for the iOS. Probably is. I'm sure it's available for that as well. But I have it on my Android phone, OD Master. As I say, you can look that up and download it. You have to sign up for you have to subscribe to it in order to use it. It doesn't cost you any money. You just have to provide an email address and a password. But as I say, that is the app that I use on my phone for programming these little radios, and as this works very well. Round the other side of the radio, we can see we have rubber flaps covering the 2-pin Kenwood type connector, which you can use with a programming cable and also to connect an earpiece in that socket as well. And underneath that, another little rubber flap. If we open that up, we can see that that is the USB-C charging socket. Each radio does come in the package with its own USB-C charging lead. So that's all very good there. The battery is under the back here. You can prise the back off with a screwdriver and then just go around with your thumb and prise the back off to gain access to the battery. I'm not going to do that because the back is held on by little plastic clips, and I would be afraid that if you prise the back off and on too many times that you would be tempting fate and you could end up breaking the little plastic clips. But there is like a 1000 milliamp hour battery in there, you know, sort of commonly available type thin battery. And on the battery usage itself, it does, the battery does last a long time. I actually haven't charged these since I got them from AliExpress. And they seem to hold a charge well and have good standby time. On the bottom there does seem to be electrodes there for a charging cradle, but the radio itself doesn't come with a charging cradle. It just comes with the USB-C leads. Does come with a lanyard, the obligatory lanyard, and as we can see on the top here we have a little eye for attaching the lanyard to, should you wish to do so. So that's basically it. A very simple, basic little walkie-talkie. Nothing complex about the operation on it. You simply turn it on.
Turn on the radio.
And you're good to go. Push the top on the button, channel up and down selection on the side. Programmable. As I say, these keys are programmable. I have it set to turn on Bluetooth for a long press on the top key and initiate a scan by a long press on the bottom key. So if we can demonstrate that, if I long press the bottom key now instead of the top key, off it goes, and it's starting to scan the channels which I have programmed into the radio, which are the 16 PMR446 channels, and as we can see it's quite quickly scanning through those. So again, just another
3.
Another long press on that should take us out of
2.
it, I think. He says, as it doesn't. There we are. A long press does, in fact, stop the scan. So we'll go back to channel 4 there.
4.
So, yes, you can scan. You can actually copy the frequencies from one radio to another. Details on how to do that are included in the little handbook that comes with the radio. Haven't done it myself. The way I did it was I programmed the radios via OD Master, saved the program channels to my phone, and then just wrote the same channels to the second radio. So you can do it that way, or you can do it the other way via wireless copy from one radio to another. But right, we'll put it back in its little cradle again. And as I say, I actually had some difficulty with programming the radios via a cable. I didn't have an issue via OD Master, but when it came to programming the radio via cable, I'm afraid I failed miserably at it by trying to program the radio via cable. As I say, I have here my standard Bowfang 2-pin Kenwood type cable, which of course fits in perfectly. I went to Tidradio's website and downloaded the programming software for the TD-M11, which I have on my laptop here. If we have a look, we can see it on the desktop here. We'll go in here and we'll have a look at it. We'll open it up. And this is how the software comes. And as we can see straight away, this is maybe where the issue is. If we look at the channel list on there, we can see that it's not actually PMR446 channels in the software. What it is FRS channels, the 22 FRS channels for the United States comes already in pre-programmed into the software. And indeed, if we look up into the top left corner, we can see that it says TD-M11 22 program software. So again, it's referring to 22 channels, FRS channels, not PMR446. So it would seem to me that this is maybe causing an issue with the actual radio and trying to program it for PMR446. I can demonstrate what happens. I say I have my radio turned on. It's plugged in via my cable, which is a CH340 chip in it. I've never had an issue with that cable with any of my other radios. So there's definitely not an issue with the cable or the drivers for the cable. But if we go to port select, my radio is actually on COM port 4. And as we see, that's already there. So we click OK. And if we try to now read from the radio, we select read up in the top menu there. And select read. What we get is an error, and it says handshake failed. So no matter what I've done, I've tried, a different cable. I have an FTDI cable, which I tried. Again, I got the same error message popping up. So there's clearly an issue with, I believe it to be an issue with the software, in that the software is set up for FRS, 22 channel USA model, and not for the PMR446 16 channel. I believe that this is what is causing the issue with trying to program the radio via a cable. So yeah, as I say, I have singularly failed to program the little radio via the programming cable, Kenwood 2-pin type programming cable. But fortunately, the OD Master app came to my rescue, and I was able to connect to the radio via OD Master. But even then, there was issues again with the programming app, the OD Master app, and I couldn't connect straight away via it either. I can demonstrate the programming via the OD Master app. If I bring my phone in here, I have the OD Master app installed on my phone. So if we scroll down here, there it is there, there's OD Master. We'll open it up. And what you do is you turn on the Bluetooth on your Tidradio, your little M11. So if we turn on our radio, and again we long press the top button, this will activate the Bluetooth on the radio. So Bluetooth is now active, and as we can see, the TX, the red TX light is staying on. So if we go into our OD Master app and we click on the OD Master app here at the top, click on pair the device, and as we see, there is a device has come up there. So there is a device there, and as we see off to the right, there's a little slide across icon there. So if we tap on that, and now we are now connecting via the OD Master app to the radio. Now comes the interesting part, because we have to select the model of the radio. Now, as we know, this is Tidradio TD-M11. So if we go into our selection of the model, which is the next one down, and we look through, and there we see Tidradio on the screen there. So if we select Tidradio and we scroll down through the list of radios, we will eventually come to TD-M11. But note that in brackets after TD-M11 it says CH22, which again is indicating that that is for FRS 22 channel version of the radio, and not for the PMR446 version. But anyway, if we go ahead and select the TD-M11 22 channel, and we now try to read from the radio, which is the next button down, we'll tap on that to see if we can read from the radio. As we note here that when we have actually connected successfully to the Tidradio via Bluetooth, the LED light will change from red to white to indicate that we are successfully connected. So we are successfully connected via Bluetooth, but we have selected the TD-M11 channel 22 radio, and if we tap on read, we get an error message. We've failed to read from the radio. It says data failure, make sure the radio and Bluetooth adapter are turned on, do not charge the Bluetooth adapter while programming, make sure the Bluetooth adapter fixed proper. So I was a bit baffled by that, and then I decided to, instead of using the TD-M11 channel 22 selection, if you go into your radio selection in the OD Master app, as well as Tidradio, just immediately below it, there is TID. Not Tidradio, just TID. Now if we tap on TID, again we get a selection of TID radios, and if we scroll down through that list, here we see TD-M11, but there's no brackets, channel 22 beside that selection. It just says TD-M11. So we'll select that one, and now with the TD-M11 selection, no brackets, no 22 after it, and if we tap on read, now we have success.
Turn on the radio.
And as we can see, we are now inside the radio and reading from it using the TD-M11 selection from TID in the OD Master app. Don't don't go into Tidradio and select the TD-M11 brackets channel 22 radio. That is if you're in the UK. It would probably be absolutely fine if you're in the USA and you have the 22 channel FRS version. But the version I want is the PMR446 16 channel version for the UK. And in order to access that, you have to select TID, not Tidradio. Scroll down to TD-M11. Just plain TD-M11, no brackets with channel 22 after it. And that's the one you must select in order to program this little radio for PMR446 in the UK. Now, as we can see, I've already programmed the radio for PMR446, and if we scroll down there, we're on PMR channel 1, which is the first selection at the top. We see our RX frequency, our TX frequency, decode and encode are both switched off. We don't want any of that. TX power is set to low. Now, that should be 0.5 watt for the UK. You could set the TX power to high and actually use this little radio on high power and program one of the channels for a 70 centimeter ham band channel. I think on high power you only get 2 watts, but it is possible to program the little radio for PMR 446 and for a 70 centimeter ham band channel, assuming of course that you have the appropriate ham license for your radio. And if you did that and programmed it to access a repeater, obviously it would increase the range vastly for the little Tidradio. But it's not really its primary function. It's really supposed to be a little walkie-talkie used on either the license-free PMR446 or the license-free FRS service. But there is that option, as I say, but that's dependent on whether you have a ham operator's license or not. But as we say, if we go down through the list, I have the TX power set to low. Wide and narrow band, I have it set to narrow. Compander, I have no idea what that is, but I have it set to off. Scramble, I have set to off as well. Frequency hop, normal. Scan add, yes, I have that add selected because you want to be able to scan all the channels. BCL, no idea what that is. So that's my first channel programmed there. Channel 1 is programmed for PMR446, and you will have to do that for each of the 16 channels initially, and once you have you'll have to write them one at a time, but once you have them all programmed, you can save your file to your phone. So once you have written out all your 16 channels and saved them to your Android OD Master app on your phone, it's quite a simple matter of selecting that file and then writing the file to the second radio. So you don't actually have to do it all over again by tediously going through each channel, programming each one. Once you have the file saved, then you can write it to the second radio, the same file. So that's the actual channel settings. There's also a function setting which you click on, and it shows the squelch level on the radio. I have it just at the default 3. The timeout timer, I think it was set to 60 seconds initially, and I have it set to 300 seconds. Timeout timer, of course, is not referring to the LED display. That's the actual talk time that you have on the radio while you're transmitting. So it was a bit short, so I've set it to 300 seconds as opposed to 60 seconds. Voice prompts are in English. Battery save 1.4. Vox level of the Vox turned off. The last two functions is, again, these can be customized. Key 1 long press action, I have it set for Bluetooth. You can have other options. You can turn it off, you can monitor, you can scan, you can have an alarm on it, Bluetooth or weather. Well, the weather won't apply to the UK because we don't have the weather channel here. But as I say, the option I have for a long press on your side key 1 is for Bluetooth, and the option for the key 2 long press, again, I have set it to scan. So that was what the functions are on the radio. I've selected them. So once you have selected all the various functions, you just simply click write to the radio, and it will write the file across to your radio via Bluetooth. So thankfully, as I say, the OD Master app came to my rescue because I'd come to a dead end with trying to program the radio via cable. And I honestly think that the issue is, in a similar fashion with the OD Master app, is that the software for programming the radio via a cable simply isn't available for PMR446. It's only available for the FRS American 22 channel bandwidth. But thankfully, in the OD Master app, as I say, under TID, not Tidradio, simply TID, and select the TD-M11 option in TID, then you will be able to program the radio with PMR446 frequencies, and you won't get the error message that you get if you select the TD-M11 brackets 22 channel version. Just on, as I say, the programming again, when I bought these radios from AliExpress, and I did finally successfully connect to the OD Master app, they came with a bunch of weird settings on them. They weren't even FRS settings, they were just weird random, what I would call test frequencies from the factory. They had all sorts of strange and wonderful frequencies and all sorts of tones and one thing and another set on them. No doubt if you had left the radios like that, they would have communicated with each other, but they would have been communicating on completely illegal frequencies for use in the UK. They definitely weren't either PMR446 or FRS frequencies in it. So it is vital that if you buy these little radios, as I did from AliExpress, that you get them connected up to your programming software. And in my case, in the UK, you'll have to use the OD Master app on your phone. It's vital that you reprogram these radios with the correct frequencies and power outputs for PMR446 in the UK. Otherwise, you will be transmitting illegally on these because not only will the power settings be all wrong, but the frequencies will be all wrong for PMR446. So it's vital that you do, in fact, program up these little radios for PMR446 license-free walkie-talkie use in the UK. But once you've done that, and as I say, the OD Master app works very well. It's just that little idiosyncrasy with selecting the TD-M11 from the TID selection in the OD Master app, not to Tidradio. Don't try and select the TD-M11 22 channel version because it just won't work, and you really need to select the other one. But once you get them programmed up, they do work very well. As I say, they've got the nice...
Turn on the radio. 4. Turn on the radio. 4.
Little green display, LED display channel, what channel you're on, battery level, what power output the radio is outputting. and the audio quality is quite nice on them. Radio test, PMR446 channel 4, Tidradio, TD-M11. So yes, they do work very well. Audio quality is nice little green LED display. So all in all, very impressed with the little radio, and especially with the Bluetooth programming feature, which, as I say, came to my rescue because it came to a dead end with the programming software and a cable on the laptop. It just didn't work. I kept getting that handshake failure with the software, and honestly think it's a software issue. The software, these little radios are not supported in Chirp. If you look in Chirp, you won't see them listed there under Tidradio or indeed under TID. Neither of the Tidradio or TID and Chirp list this little model, the TD-M11. It's just not listed in Chirp, so you have to use CPS software, and in my case the CPS software didn't work, and I had to resort to using the OD Master software, with the caveat that you don't select Tidradio in the OD Master software. You select TID and then scroll down and select TD-M11 in order to be able to connect to the little radios via Bluetooth. But once you've done that, it connects perfectly well, and it's you can program it up with the legal PMR446 frequencies for the UK. And once you have your programming information saved to your Android phone in the OD Master app, you don't have to go through the rather tedious process of programming in each of the 16 frequencies. You just write the file from the OD Master app to the second radio. Saves a lot of time and hassle. So anyway, folks, hope you enjoyed it. Little Tidradio TD-M11 PMR446 license-free walkie-talkies for the UK. As I say, don't forget, when you get them, if you do like I did, buy them from AliExpress, they will come with a load of weird test frequencies on them, so it's vital that you program these little radios up for PMR446 in the UK. I'm not sure if you bought them from Tidradio's official site, whether they would come with FRS channels pre-programmed into them. It does advertise them as PMR446 or FRS, so I'm presuming that if you bought the PMR446 version for the UK, that it would come correctly programmed from Tidradio themselves. I can't say that for sure because, as I say, I bought them on AliExpress. They came with programmed with weird test frequencies on them. But there does seem to be an issue with the Tidradio programming software for the computer and the cable. As I say, I just failed completely trying to program them via cable, but as I say, the OD Master app did work absolutely fine. So anyway, folks, thanks for watching the video. Couple of nice little PMR446 walkie-talkies. Again, you could program it with 70 centimeter ham band frequencies if you're in the UK and have the appropriate ham operator's license. It's nothing to stop you. Set them to high power, obviously, 2 watts, which is their high power setting, and half a watt is their low power setting. So it is possible to use them as a 70 centimeter ham band radio, but their main purpose is as a license-free walkie-talkie. So thanks for watching the video, folks. If you liked it, then please give it a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe to the channel. But thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next one.